If we're looking for a monastery, however, we most likely have if they are set back up, we most likely have a trade route set up for somewhere in that area.
Oh,
Most likely just to bring supplies in.
not very likely. Monasteries, they've prided themselves on being self-sufficient.
However, they still provide goods in most places where they are. At least where I'm from.
Oh, not from here. Monasteries have always prided themselves on being self-sufficient. They might trade occasionally, but not very often.
Hmm. Well, we'll see. If anything, somebody up there knows the exact location, so that would simplify a search.
Yes, of course.
All right. Do you have? I would have to go to a trade guild for the trade route information. I'll see if I can get anything. Thank you for your time today. I'll give him
Yes,
money for supplies.
yes, and he'll gracefully accept the money, and he'll kind of just bow and thanks. Of course, have a good day then, and I hope you're able to help your friend.
Of course. Thank you. All right. So it looks like we're gonna have to go to Trade Guild HQ anyway. Well, might as well go meet up with that bastard. Go, Cassidy.
Cassidy will nod, and I'm trying to recall. Cassidy was there, as I recall.
Yeah, Lily took her once, I think.
No, I mean like when the final meeting was going on. No, she wasn't, because she was keeping an eye on the tank. So she does not know that particular detail. And getting into the trade,
I feel like we would have told her, though.
I think we would have brought that up.
yeah. And as you get up to the trade guild, Cassidy will think along the way back to everything you said, and to kind of speak up. Hold on, didn't you mention when you met the trade master that he said something about that place in the abandoned temple was only sealed so long as there was nobility in this town?
It's related, or possibly related to the same reason Azul was probably the same assassin too. Warlock.
I doubt it's the same assassin.
However, she would be aware of our actions here as well as that little tidbit of information. Very few people know about that information, so
Yeah.
an attempt on his life means it's somebody who knows that information.
Yeah, and all right. And the two of you will walk up and enter into trade guild the trade guild hall easily enough, and you can see that there is a different secretary here that you met last time, though you probably wouldn't remember it too well, and they look quite hectic at this point.
We talked to a trade master, a guild master.
I'm sorry, but the trade master is not dealing with anyone right now. He is, unless of course you're regarding the security detail he commissioned, he will not be seeing anyone.
I'm related to a security commission he once acquired. Tell us
Yes.
of utmost importance.
He requested a much larger detail than just two, and I can firmly say that you are not wearing the same emblems or anything that he has supposedly ordered. And as he goes through to speak this, unfortunately, you hear a familiar voice from behind. No, it's fine. Send them in. I recognize them. And you can see at the gate, or at a doorway, a distance ways behind her, you can see the man you recognize as a trade master, Roland, I think his name was.
Something like that. I forget.
And he'll kind of just welcome you in at this point into his office and just wait for you.
Yeah, go on in.
And you can kind of see him there just kind of pinching his nose for the most part as he looks at you. I honestly was not expecting you to turn up back here. I was under the impression that there was nothing I wanted to do in this town anymore.
Unfortunately, I am here for information. However, I do there was an attempt on that dude's life.
You have to say that again because you kind of got cut off.
I originally came for information. However, when we found out about the assassination attempt, we also have had an assassination attempt made against one of ours. So it might be related.
And how would you figure it's related then? And he seems a bit more interested at this point.
The fact that your Duke was targeted, even though he has no power here, which means somebody's aware of that seal of yours.
There's no indication that someone is aware of things. If anything, it appears more that somebody just took took insult to some things he had said. He's been much more vocal recently. It's been a large headache in recent months.
You've got to consider redoing that seal.
It is not within my power to redo it. I was only left here to keep an eye on it and ensure it remains up.
Well, what we're looking for, and I'll be blunt here, one of ours was poisoned with a very unique poison. It blocked off her ability to do what she does best. So what we're looking for is a monastery. To find that monastery, we need to get to Court City. I'm here for possible trade route information for an easier route to get there.
I see. Well, the trade guild should be able to provide you with information and routes easily enough, though finding someone who's not occupied will be difficult enough.
Of course, although the maps should be more than enough. We do have our own means of transportation.
Yes. There is an elvish trader who should be in the left hall. Speak to him about a map and he should take care of that. Now, unless there's anything else, I need to prepare for when the security detail arrives.
No, there shouldn't be anything else. Unless there's something you might need of us.
You're offering to help.
I'll offer to listen.
Well, unless you could find the assassin and deal with them outright, there's not much you can take care of. Besides, I get the feeling that you would not want to stick around as security in most cases. Not that I could blame you.
Sticking around for security, no. However, if you have information regarding the assassin, if they were spotted, we could look into that issue as well. If we come across them.
I have no information regarding that thus far. I apologize.
So they weren't spotted. What kind of weapon was used?
It was a dagger.
Rather blunt way of handling it.
A blunt way of handling it, yes, but it was enchanted in such a way that it was quite difficult to heal his wounds.
Really?
Yes.
Understood. I'll keep my eyes peeled for a weapon like that. Perhaps we could get information from there.
Yes, perhaps.
Alright. That should be it. I wish you best of luck of hunting down that assassin and stopping whoever's targeting our little noble friend here.
Yes, friend. Let's go with that. I'm gonna kind of just wave you off dismissively and allow you to both leave.
Alright. Go get the trade map stuff from the Elven Trader.
Yeah, and he's willing to offer them up easily enough, though he's gonna charge you 25 gold, which you know is actually their maps. Yeah, so 25 gold for the maps.
Okay.
Alright.
Any threats along the trade route that you've heard of as of late that we should keep our eyes peeled for?
I don't believe there's anything recently in the area. I know there was actually a rather rare adventuring party that had gone through and taken care of things. As I understand, there was an outrider who had joined up with such a party to recover some things and taken care of a rare orc infestment.
We took out a goblin infested last time we were in that area too.
Ah, yes,
So,
you were that group, were you not?
Yes. Alright. Well, For orcs around that area, though, it is something to keep our eyes out for. Alright, thank you for your time.
Yes, good day.
Alright. Alright. Before we head out, we're going to just buy. We're gonna. You know what? Let's just head out. I was gonna say let's buy some stuff cheap to sell in Court City, but actually, no, we can buy fish. What am I saying? It's the Ocean City. We can buy.
Cassie's just gonna cross her arms. Are you intending to make us a merchant vessel as well?
I figure the extra funds should assist breaking the ice. Not to mention a little extra cash here and there never hurts.
I'm no merchant, and I don't expect anyone else is. I feel like we should just travel onward straight towards the monastery where it was supposed to be.
That's not a bad idea. Let's head to the Court City. That way we could at least verify the exact location.
Well, we already know pretty much where it is.
Yes, however, would you rather have the direct route to it or blindly shooting in mountains? I don't think either of us could fly.
Well, it was just supposed to be on the in the southern peak, so if we get close, we should be able to find it easily enough with just going to a small town around there.
Can I see a world map right quick?
You may. And you don't need to roll an insight to get the feeling that Cassie kind of does not want to go dead into the center of an elf, or to the Court City for some reason. So it would be more up here. So you're literally...
Yeah. Regardless, I believe the Court City is going to be best. I know you feel like you don't want to be there, however, it's not exactly out of the way. Not to mention crossing a river from the Court City would be easier than crossing over a river from where we are currently.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say this, it's going to be easier
bring it up
going
with the
to Court
others.
City first.
Let's bring it up with the others. I would rather not go through the Court City.
Was there anything that happened there?
At this point in his side, it's like I completely agree. As he steps out from an alley.
And Cassie kind of looks at him surprised. Oh, you were following us?
Had to make sure.
And then Cassie will then turn to Falana. It's more of I've heard they don't really like to deal with anyone who's been afflicted with lycanthropy well in that region. Even though I'm not as quite the same effect as many others might be, I don't feel they would be very kind to how I am.
Hang on. You're part werewolf?
And she'll nod. Yes, natural born. I was not bitten, but my father was.
My suggestion is this.
Good to know.
Blend into the crowd. The reason you get away with this is there has been situations where we have things like a fox running around or cats. Maybe you're just a wolf walking around. Blend into the crowd. You should still work. The best I can think of.
No risk. No risk is better than no. No risk is better than a risk.
Well, she could stay in the apparatus. We're just going there for information for an exact location, as well as maybe to rest up. However, we could camp outside using the apparatus as a temporary shelter. It's not impossible.
It's viable.
However, I believe Court City is also going to be our key place for any information that we might not find at the monastery at the same time, due to it being a major city.
I suppose so. I can just stay in the apparatus until then.
Just while we're in Court City, we shouldn't be here too long. A day at most.
Hopefully not. And then you're going to head back to the apparatus?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So 3 of you will easily enough be able to journey out of the city and get over to the apparatus and once more join in. You're going to relay the information to Lily?
Yep,
Welcome back, Silas.
explain the entire situation, including the fact that we are probably better off going to the court city first. A lot less rivers to cross.
Do you mention the dagger?
Yes.
Well,
That would be brought up.
That dagger sounds familiar.
Just purchased it the other day.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
We did.
I don't feel good about purchasing an attempted murder weapon.
Well, there's no way to guarantee. You can't exactly go point to everyone who's got a dagger like this and go tell him that.
Actually,
I love also how you're assuming it's the same dagger,
yeah.
considering
Lily?
how
Consider
far
the
it would have
distance.
been.
This is Lily, just saying. No, I don't
Consider-
know
And
what
I get
Val's
that,
excuse
but
is,
like one thing that for Crayton's knowledge, Northbridge is like from Gatesill,
Okay.
400 miles away over
Again,
mountains
The
and
map
through
is new.
forest.
The map is very new.
Yeah. Just for Crayton's reference, Gatesill is over 400 miles away over mountains and forests and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's apparently been like a difference of, it's possible it's the same one, but why would the person bring the dagger there to sell it?
I think it's just circumstantial at this point.
Probably.
Instant transmission.
Either that or they went by bow, and that was the...
Both,
That's
I
not
feel,
on
would
the
have taken
way,
longer
but-
because you would have had to go the long way around.
Yep.
And if
They
it went
would've-
by bow, that dagger would have ended up in Sunsil or Drakengard.
Or you could
It
have
wouldn't
just
have ended
you
up
could have just
in-
dropped it in the sea.
So,
Yeah.
why are we going to the court city again?
Apparently, she needs information still.
In case there's information there that might assist us, because it is the capital.
Okay, assist
It should
us
be
in
a
what?
good place to find information.
Assist us in what? Because we're going to get her key back, and if we are doing that, we need to go to a monastery, not to a capital city of the elves.
Also, because the rivers are going to be a lot more forgiving crossing from
She's
Port
gonna
City
point out
than
the
crossing
Elvenheim
over.
here. I don't see a river here. We just
As,
go north a little bit.
Yeah, and as I will point out, even if there was a river, the apparatus can swim through pretty much any river without a problem.
You're gonna add a day onto our journey, plus however long we spend in the city. I want to get Azul fixed, don't you? If we have to go back to the court city afterwards, we can.
However,
It's going to be more than just a day, to be honest, because that's probably going to take you 3 or 4 days to cross that distance.
Look. I'm gonna be getting tired of the bickering. How about we just vote on it?
Alright. Anyone who wants to go to court city, raise your hand.
I think go to Court City instead go through Elfheim. Not to mention any supplies that we
Do
might
you raise-
be able to
do you
find
raise your hand?
there.
Do you just raise? Are you gonna raise your hand or not?
With Court City, yes.
Does anyone else
All
raise
those-
their hand?
Cassidy's going to very adamantly not. Azul is kind of just shrugging.
Anyone who wants to go directly to the monastery and quickly cure Azul of any of issues, please raise your hand now, and Lily will raise her hand.
Quickest way possible.
I'd
And-
rather not get lost, but okay.
Cassidy will raise her hand as well. We more or less know the route there, and there's got to be a small town nearby that can point us in the right direction without
It
having
seems
to
more
go
bit-
3 days out of the way.
It does seem a bit more beating around the bush if we go there.
Besides, it'll probably take us less than 3 days to find it if we're close than it would to go to Court City and back. Through the Elvenheim
I
it
tried
is.
to offer a suggestion for at least getting a more centralized place for finding it. Alright, well, if we want to take blind shots at trying to find a place where people are living in Elfheim, why not?
I'm glad that democracy has reigned again. So,
You noble.
Except you don't believe in democracy, you're a noble. To a monarchy.
after all this time, you still don't know a single thing about me, do you?
We're dealing with monarchies. not democracy.
Can we not talk about politics in the frickin' tank?
And at this point, Azul just kind of starts piloting it off, probably with Alana's help.
All right.
Castu, they always bicker like this.
The elf gets her mind set on something and doesn't really wish to change it.
That's not a healthy habit.
Alright, so you'll head off to the northwest, going into the Elfheim, and as you start to travel into it, the trees grow thicker and thicker together, starting to blot out the sunlight, which is very similar to the forest where you even found the apparatus and dealt with the goblins initially. It's fairly uneventful for the first few days. You're not exactly traveling on specific roads, which is kind of slowing you down because you're just taking whatever open path there is. Probably animal paths, to be honest, though you don't see much, though considering that the apparatus isn't the quietest thing around, it's probably understandable that nothing is trying to be near you. You can roll perceptions as you wish as the day goes on.
Sweet.
Yep, not to mention we're also dealing with Mama straight out to Court City, which means if they're hiding in a forest, we're going to be dealing with them this way.
No.
Man, look at these perceptions.
Lily beat out Crayton. Yes.
Alana's got her face in a book trying to ignore everyone because they refuse to listen.
And Silas just going to ignore her for just brooding half the way.
Azul,
You know what, Silas? I'm really glad you're with us. Gives me someone to talk to.
He's silent.
Azul and Cassidy, see what they see. Not much more. So, Lily and Crayton and Azul as well are able to pick up on this as they go, but they do see like
You forgot
figures
Alana.
watching them in the distance, and from the looks of things, they're probably just elves observing them. They don't seem to stick around or be much more like attacking them outright. They just seem to be keeping an eye on you.
There's a little bit of a worry.
They don't look like dark elves, right?
Probably wood elves more than anything. You can see that they have bows at their sides. They aren't actually attacking you, like I said, but best that you can see, you're probably not getting close to any of their holds. You'd feel like more than likely it's so long as you don't get near the hold, they're not going to do anything against you. You're walking around in a metal crab.
Oh yeah, it's something to look for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
First day kind of goes on without any real mark anywhere, one way or the other. You gonna stop for the night? Set up a hut or something?
Maybe we can take shifts and keep going.
Yeah, that would make perfect sense. So you're gonna just kind of trade off. You can sleep in. It's not going to be the most comfortable rest, but you are going to be able to rest overall. And yeah, the kids are almost louder than you are, Risu. It's not going to be the most comfortable rest if you're taking shifts, but you will be able to rest in the apparatus more or less and just take shifts to travel straight the entire time. Eventually you come across the river and you just literally walk right through it without a single concern because you've done this before with this particular thing. Keep going. Eventually you pass what seems to be a entrance to an old set of ruins. You can see what you could believe to be orcish symbols on it, but from what you can see, it's all tattered and fallen apart, more so than you would usually expect, as though like the orcs haven't been there or are dead. And in fact, as you get further along to the side, you can see that there is a dead orc, like his body mostly decayed at this point as you keep going.
Can we stop and investigate?
You may.
Well, will anyone say no?
I won't.
I will, because there are elves. There is an elven community near here. Not to mention, I already know what happened here. That was just the adventuring group we heard about before. There's probably nothing left.
It'll only take a few seconds. I'll just step out real quick.
Oh god.
And you step out and you look around. Seems to be there's not too much to the ruins themselves. Looking around, you see that there's a staircase going down, which appears to be whatever important is down below.
Can I investigate the orcs and see what happened to them?
Roll an investigation. Best that you can see, they are dead.
That's
A few of them look like they've had their skull beaten in with a maul, like not a maul per se, but like a mace or some other blunt weapon. It feels like it looks like that one was actually whipped to death.
Huh, crude.
What kind
Um,
of weird creature would use a whip?
An elf.
um, just a few other methods like that. You can see that there's definitely a place where there would look to be a surge of radiant energy. You can actually still kind of feel a little bit of the holy energy lingering in the area, very much in contrast to what you feel the orcish, like an orcish group might have.
Can I roll Arcana?
You may.
Yes!
You're not even sure if that's actually magic.
Uh,
You think there's something crawling on your skin, almost like you should leave.
Spiders.
Crayton, you can definitely identify that the energy that remains is definitely the energy from a holy cleric, possibly a cleric of life.
Hmm.
Definitely something that orcs would not have.
It's radiant. Definitely not orcish.
Is there any sense
Well,
of...
technically, an orc can use radiant energy. Just putting that out there.
Not in
Yeah,
this
it
universe.
can, but it wouldn't have been something in this particular case that wouldn't have been orcish, and you can identify that.
Is there any sense of any surge of storm energy or anything like what we've seen previously in...
Not that you can see.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Well,
Right. We should get back in.
let's keep going. Doesn't look like we can help anything here.
Yep. All right, and you're gonna keep going. Things are gonna be mostly uneventful for the most part, though you eventually stumble across what seems to be a proper road.
Well, that'll
Around
help.
this point, if you stumble upon a proper road and following it along, you can see that there is actually going to be a small town in the distance. Are you intending to stop in at the town?
Yep.
All right, give me one moment.
At the very least, we can get information on where the monastery is if it's not the monastery.
Hey Silver, just let you know I've got about another 15 minutes.
I know.
Okay.
Let me actually. I did not put tokens on this map yet. Ba-doop. Ba-doop. Ba-doop.
Ba-doop.
Ba-doop. Sure, can have Elana there. Cassidy, don't need you. I gotta grab it as Azul. Let me just move everyone to this map. And as you approach from the east, you recognize a sign saying that this is the town of Crossroads. It appears to be a more or less a small elvish town. There's definitely a number of humans in it as well. The forest had more or less opened up into a clearing for it.
Quaint.
And you can see that there are, like as you've seen as you've been coming in, there's obviously going to be, I'm going to move everyone who's not actually doing things down here. And as you approach closer, you can see that there are actually a number of elves that actually arrive on the road. A few humans flanking them. They all have bows drawn and aimed right at the apparatus.
Lily's going to step out from the back and hold her hands up as if, not being threatening or anything. And just say, "Hello, we're travelers. This is our mechanical carriage. And we were looking for some information. We mean you no harm."
Roll a persuasion on that. All right, and they'll kind of nod. Most of them lower their bows. One of the elves steps forwards. "You mean us no harm. Forgive us. We've not seen a device such as that before, and things have been quite interesting recently, even after the orcs were removed."
Yes, well, our device is a very peculiar magical thing. I'm not very good with magic stuff. You'll have to talk with our wizard about that, but it just helps us travel safer.
Yes. Now then, you said you were seeking information. What can our quaint little town of Crossroads do to help you with that?
Well, we heard that there was a monastery in this area, and we have with us a monk that has lost her connection to Ki, and we were hoping that they could help restore it.
You must be speaking of the Sacred Stone Monastery.
Monastery of the Sacred Stones?
I don't really know much about it. It was first made well before my time, even.
This is the elf that she's talking to?
This is the elf that's speaking, yes.
Well, that's fairly old. Um, would you know of the quickest route to it, or any dangers to avoid?
If you'd wish to find the proper route to it, you'd probably be best off seeking out the magistrate in the fortress.
Thank you for your information. Are we free to pass, or would you like to inspect?
We will take a look at things and ask that if you are to take this through, you have somebody outside and leading it.
Understood. And she's going to stick her head back in the tank and explain things to the group. And Lily will volunteer to stay outside with it.
All right. And you'll head further in, and the captain there will lead you in as well. This is quite... You must understand we have only a quaint town and only a few things. I haven't really known anyone who would want to seek out the monastery. They are rather reclusive.
Is this the captain talking?
This is the captain, yes. And
Okay.
she also introduced her name as Keyleth.
Keyleth.
Yes.
That's a nice name. Lily will again explain what happened with Azul.
And she kind of, Keyleth just shakes her head. That is dark times, indeed. And she'll motion up to it's obviously a fortress. It's on top of a hill. There are stone walls compared to everything else made out of wood. The humans built that when they decided to arrive in the area, and the magistrate has taken up residence inside.
Yes,
He will be able to give you better directions inside.
it didn't look
There's
quite
also
elvish.
yeah, there's also an inn further along. It should be hard to miss. It's the largest building around. Also a temple if you wish to take a look there, but you don't seem a particularly religious sort.
Well, it depends. Thank you. And she's gonna go try to talk to the magistrate. I have a feeling we probably want to walk though.
Yeah, you'll probably want to walk inside of there, and I feel we can probably actually end it off here.
Okay.
All right, then that was pretty fun. Fun session.
Should I end off the stream?
Yep, you getting off the stream.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.